I'm so excited. Okay, so this week I wanted to bring you into my kitchen, and I really wanted to bring you to my actual meal prep planning. So if you got your book, if you didn't, hopefully they're working on it, but I wanted to share with you that I went in, I kind of messed up when I wrote it, but this is how I normally would plan my meals. I would write the meal I'm having, and then I would write everything that I need for that meal. And this book is a wonderful tool to do that. Another way you can not
Now,
miss out on is to write your breakfast and lunch, which is what I have done here. And then I have my grocery list. But as I told you before, I transfer this grocery list to an electronic grocery list so I can have it with me at all times. So if you have this book or if you even have a notebook, this is what I kind of have done to prep for today. So today we are making a Greek chicken, like a Greek gyro. So we have flatbread, but normally I would use like a wrap, or you can use tortilla wrap. You can use what they call flatbread. You can use pita, and then we're also going to make just a chicken and potatoes and veggies. So that's going to be our second meal. So that's what's on my menu, and then tomorrow we're having leftovers. So first of all, I want to show you the tools I'm using. I'm not going to be able to show you. One tool I used was the Instant Pot. It's over here in my kitchen, but I use that actually to prep my potatoes. So you can cook in 20 minutes if you have an Instant Pot. If you don't, you can do them in the oven or the microwave. You can cook probably this size potatoes, about 6 or 7. So I prep my potatoes in the Instant Pot. The only other tool I'm going to use tonight is going to be my oven. I did actually use one other stovetop. So when you're making one of the vegetables we're making, oops, let me switch my camera over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so one of the vegetables that we're going to be having as part of our vegetable combo is going to be Brussels sprouts. And Brussels sprouts can take a long time to cook. But what you can do, I don't know if you can see how green these are. Cut up your Brussels sprouts, boil some water, put them in water for about 2 to 3 minutes. It'll give them a little bit of softness. So when you cook them in the oven, they'll cook a little quicker, but it'll give them that bright green. And then after you take them out of the boiling water, douse them in cold water. So first vegetable we're going to be cooking is Brussels sprouts. And I'm just going to like dump this on here. So we're doing pan meal. So I'm just going to add those Brussels sprouts on there. We have some zucchini and some cauliflower in the bowl. So I'm just going to throw this on my pan. And this is a super easy way. These are called pan meals, where you can just kind of throw everything on there. And you can have enough vegetables for even like the whole week. So if it's just you cooking or eating, you can have enough just for you. And then I have some squash, some yellow squash. Now, I don't know if these are in, I don't think these are in season in Ohio. So of course they are imported, but if they were in season, you could get them. So you have all your vegetables here. I'm going to season these up. So I'm going to start with my favorite. Oh, I forgot a seasoning. Hold on just a second. Forgot a seasoning. I'm going to add some garlic. So you have your whole pan of vegetables here. I'm going to add some potatoes here. So let's do this first. This right here is a Rosemary infused olive oil from Aldi. This is not pushing any brands at all. These are just giving you options. But this already has rosemary in it, so it has great flavor. So I'm just going to drizzle my vegetables with a little bit of this. So I'm going to get like a rosemary in there and get the olive oil, and that's going to help my seasoning kind of stick to the vegetables. So I'm just going to toss that up a little bit, massage it in. Might add a little bit more. I got a lot of vegetables here. I think I'm going to take a little bit of regular olive oil. And I'm going to add some garlic powder. I think this is Walmart brand. And really give them a good coating of seasoning. In my family, I'm like known as the non-seasoner because I eat things bland so much. So next thing I'm going to add is some Old Bay. Old Bay is great on vegetables. And if you want to measure to make sure you know how much you're getting, you can measure. But we're going to add some Old Bay on there. you can pretty much go to your pantry and see what you have. We got some onion powder. Gonna add some of that. I think that's what all we're gonna add. And I didn't add any salt. So if you are watching your salt, you don't even have to add salt. You can, or you can wait till they're already cooked to add your salt. So I have all my vegetables. Try to make sure it's one layer. I'm kind of not going to do a good job of that here because I got way too many and I want room for my potatoes. So this is what I've done with the potatoes. So I cooked the potatoes in the Instant Pot and then I just dice them up. The wonderful thing about cooking the potatoes ahead of time in the Instant Pot is that you can do so many things with them. You can have roasted potatoes, you can do baked potatoes and just have them with your dinner. If you don't want a whole potato, cut it in half and have a half potato. You can take them and mash them. So if you use that Instant Pot trick where you make your potatoes at the beginning of the week and you just keep them in the refrigerator, you have tons of options. You can make French fries if you want to make French fries for dinner or for a snack, you can make French fries. So I'm just gonna, and a small potato, really, a medium small potato is only like 160 calories. And it has like lots of antioxidants. It's like actually really good for you. So I'm just gonna throw that over here and I'm gonna put a little bit of the olive oil on the potatoes. And that's my infused rosemary olive oil. How long do I leave them in the Instant Pot? 20 minutes. 20 minutes for like a medium to small potato. For the larger potatoes, you might want to do like 25 minutes. But 20 to 25 minutes. And I'm not gonna put too much seasoning on those. I'm gonna put a little garlic. Oh, I forgot I had some, this is one of my favorite go-to seasonings, smoked paprika. This one's from Trader Joe's, but you can probably use pretty much any kind. But I like putting smoked paprika on everything. All right, so you have all your vegetables all mixed up. So you have a nice mix of vegetables. Try to flatten those out. And then I'm going to try to toss. And then the potatoes, you just have to toss really lightly because they're already cooked. Okay, so that pan I'm going to set to the side. And I'll be back with the other pan. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. So one of the suggestions that can be really helpful, I'm going to switch my camera around real quick. When you're trying to prepare healthy meals for the week is to use one protein. And I'm going to talk about this later on in the slides. I'm trying to catch questions as they come up, and I apologize. We'll definitely get to all the questions today. But I try to use one protein. So today, what I've done is one of these packs of chicken. So this is just a tenderloin chicken pack. This is a $3.79 per pound, and I think this is a 2-pound pack. I'm going to make 2 meals out of this. So if you have just a couple, this is perfect for like a couple for you to have 2, maybe 3 meals. If you have a larger family, you can get 2 packs of these and do 2 pans and have enough. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to make 2 meals. And I've already seasoned this chicken up, and I'm going to tell you what I've seasoned it with. Okay, let's put my veggies. Veggies are done. So this right here is, I've done a Greek seasoning here. So I have this Greek seasoning that I actually got for a Christmas gift. But you can go online, you can use, I think Greek seasoning is pretty much oregano. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what else. Let's see what's in here. This is sea salt, onion, black pepper, garlic, parsley, basil, thyme, oregano, lemon zest, marjoram, and this has some spearmint. So this is a Greek chicken. So we're going to use that for our Greek chicken wraps. And this right here is just, I've put on here some smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. I think that's it. And so that's going to be our other meal. So it's really 2 meals in one, and they're going to both cook at the same time. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil, and I put a little bit of olive oil in the pan, just a little. And these are all ready to go in the oven. So I'm going to stick these in the oven, and then we can go switch over to the PowerPoints, and I will show you everything I'm going to put together. So we have 2 chicken meals. We have a pan of mixed vegetables and potatoes. And if all goes as planned, hopefully by the end of this class, everything will be done. If not, it'll be partially done. So these are just great ideas for healthy cooking. You have all your vegetables. I'm going to stick these on the top. And then you have your chicken. And now I can sit back and talk with you guys. So first, I'm going to switch my camera here. There we go. And I want to go real quick and see if there's any questions. How long do you leave in the Instant Pot? What setting? I just got one. Oh, yeah. So I'm at a loss. Oh, okay. So I said 20 minutes, and I just put it on manual. So I put on manual for 20 minutes. New gadget in my future. Yes, Instant Pot is, you can, one thing about if you're doing meal prep, you can do Instant Pot, you can use your stove, and you can use your oven, you can use multiple tools, but the Instant Pot is great for, like, I use it for my greens, I use it for my kale. I usually have leftovers a few days later, so we don't get tired of having the same thing. Yeah. So that's why I do like 2, usually I do for us 3 meals. So it's just me and my husband. Even when we have the kids at home, I would do 3 meals, and usually one of the meals we would eat as a repeat, leftover, and then we would have, so we have 3 options. But sometimes I would just put the 3 meals in the refrigerator, and I'd be like, have whatever you want, choose your meal. But that's a really easy way to have like 3 meals, but you can use your Instant Pot to cook one of your meals. So I think, are those all the questions? I think that's it. And then I see that Melissa said, when you're having with the shopping on a budget, helps me to stick to my things on my list. Yes, because it is so easy to get distracted. So let me share my screen real quick. Let's see where we are on time. Okay, good. Right on time. Let me change this to speaker mode. Okay. Anybody have any other questions? You can leave them in the chat. You can, if you want to unmute real quick. Otherwise, we can put them in the chat, and we can come back over once we're done with the PowerPoints. Okay, so we are at week 4, and we're discussing how can meal planning save you time and money, and then sharing kitchen tools that can be used for meal planning. So how can meal planning save money? How can meal planning save you money? It helps you stick to your shopping budget. So if you have meals at home, it keeps you from eating out or using DoorDash. So I know, many of us are working, or some are working from home, but many of us are going back to work. And then you're coming home in the evening and you're hungry, and, instead of ordering DoorDash, you already have your meals ready to go, and you just take them out and fix your dinner. And then you can have a nice evening without any stress. And there's less impulsive eating, especially at lunch or when you're away from home. So if you do have your meal prep and you have leftover dinner, which is what I usually take for lunch, you're less impulsive. So, if sometimes it's really hard, but when other people are ordering out for lunch, it'll save you some money because you'll eat what you packed, hopefully, and not eat what everyone else wants to go out and eat. At least that's what I try to do. So how can healthy meals planning save you time? First of all, there's no need to rush home from work and fix dinner. Leaves you more time in the evening to do more of what you love. And so many times when it comes to exercising or taking care of ourselves, especially us women who are in the room, we're busy. There are some men who are the cooks too. So I shouldn't make that just women, men too. If you're coming home and you get home at 6, you have to fix dinner and you don't get to eat till 8, then you're like in the bed and you don't have any time to do anything other than go to sleep and wake up and do the whole cycle again. When you are fixing your meal, when your meals are already prepped, you can stop at the gym on the way home and your dinner's already there when you get there. So this is a great way to save time. You can have your dinner and then go take an evening walk when the weather allows us to do that. Number 2 is less time spent at the grocery store, which means less extra money spent as well as time spent stopping at the grocery store. How many times have you been like, oh, I got to pick up something to fix for dinner on the way home? But if you have your meals already planned and already prepped and already ready to go, you don't have to stop at the grocery store. There's less time spent in the grocery store because guess what? You got your plan, you got your list, and you got your meals already set out. So there's less time spent, more time to do fun stuff. And then dinner is ready. So guess what? Now you can exercise in the evening. So there's no excuse for not exercising because you have time. And you might have a little extra money, so you might be able to join a class. You might be able to join a gym. So it's a win-win. So here's some meal planning tips, and I kind of shared some of these already. Use your kitchen gadgets. How many people have a crock pot? I can't see the screen. I can't see it, but I have had a crock pot since I got married 34 years ago. So I've gotten newer ones over the years. My husband actually bought me one about 5-6 years ago that is an automatic one. So I can actually put everything in it. I used to be to work at 6 a.m. and then I can start it from a distance. So I can start it while I'm at work. But there's all different kind of crock pots. Many of the instant pots also can be used as long cooking. So if you have an instant pot, not only can you make instant meals, but you can also use it as a slow cooking. If you have an instant pot, you can use it if you need eggs for breakfast. So if you want to boil your eggs for breakfast, you can make all of your eggs in that instant pot. And then you have your meal, your breakfast. If you want to have boiled eggs, you have them prepped for the week. You can make oatmeal in there. So you can make oats in the Instant Pot and have your oatmeal and store that for the week. So Instant Pot I'm looking over at mine right now, looking at all the options of things you can make. Oh yeah, you can make your rice. I always make rice in the Instant Pot. So you can make enough rice for the whole week. And it takes, I think rice might take, I think 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 10, to make rice. And then the sheet meals, which is what I just showed you tonight, was the sheet meals. Super easy way to have healthy meals. You just put all of your proteins on a pan. If you're going to have, I've done sheet meals where I've done steak, like a sweet and sour steak, where I make a sauce to go with it. I've done shrimp in them. I've done fish. I've done sheet meals with salmon. You can use pretty much any protein, put it in your pan, and then put your vegetables on the side. I think when I did the steak, I did like a teriyaki type steak and then made a sauce on the side, and then I put the broccoli in the pan with the steak. So had the whole meal, and I just had to make rice to go with it. Crock pots can offer you slow cooked meals that are ready when you get home. So the one option with the crock pot is you can put a roast, you can put a pork roast, a beef roast. You can put I used to always put a whole chicken in the crock pot and cook it. That was my favorite way to cook it. Now I love cooking in the oven. Or you can put chicken pieces, and you can put all that in the crock pot, and it'll be ready when you come home. An Instant Pot is great for quick meals. If there's something that you want to make quickly, it cooks it in less time. So you can pretty much make anything in the Instant Pot. You can make fajitas. I've made spaghetti squash, rice dishes. You can even make lasagna in the Instant Pot. I have made lasagna. It looks a little different than traditional lasagna, but tastes the same. And then the sheet pan meals, one of my favorite ways to meal prep. You can cook your protein or vegetables all on one sheet. So tonight I showed you how I put all of my vegetables on a sheet. You can also do it where you put your vegetables and your protein on.
I think no English sweet. You will. English is alien to us.
Everybody make sure you're muted. Meal prep can be completed for the week in just 2 hours. So usually when I do our meal prep here at home, I allow Sundays to be my meal prep day, and I usually allow 2 hours. So I usually make like usually three, sometimes four meals. And then I shared this earlier, use the same protein for two different meals. For instance, it's like I use chicken breast. So I don't know if I said that. I use chicken breast, and I use the cutlets or the tenderloins. But you can also use the breast and cut them up because those will cook faster. Or you can use chicken thighs. You can make chicken fajitas. So you can use like a taco seasoning, or you can get like a fajita seasoning. And then you can use, like I did, you can do the Greek chicken. You can look up different type of Greek seasoning. I just happen to have one, but you can definitely find those on my favorite Pinterest. And you can make your Greek seasoning. And just like I showed you guys tonight, you can put those on one pan, a little bit of olive oil. You can also use a spray. I didn't use that, but you can also use a cooking spray. I have an avocado oil spray here. And you can just put that on the pan and cook your proteins. Use your Instant Pot for one meal for the week, and then you can use your stove top or your oven for the two other meals, and then you have 3 meals for the week. So this is the goal takeaways for this week are to name 3 benefits of meal planning, and what are 2 kitchen tools you can use to prepare your weekly meals. So I am going to stop sharing. There we go. I'm going to go to gallery mode. Oh, there was, I put, okay. But it takes about 30 minutes longer than it says. How long did, I'm trying to think, how big was the chicken too? Because that was one thing that was, you have to definitely use a small chicken. This, I'm making chili using spaghetti squash. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, I love using spaghetti squash. No one else in my house eats spaghetti squash. And someone did ask me this question earlier this week about if your spouse eats healthy and your spouse doesn't eat healthy and you ate healthy, what can you do? And I have had this, my spouse is on here. I love you, honey. But where I was eating super healthy and super lean, and he was not eating, not that he ate unhealthy, but he wanted to have a little bit more substance to his meals. I started with a base of healthy meals. So start with, say you do the chicken fajitas. Start with the chicken fajitas, use a chicken breast, and then you can build from there. So you can use your chicken breast, you can make your fajita vegetables, and you can have that. You can give him a tortilla with cheese and salsa and all the trimmings, but you can just stick with having the healthy portion of it, and then build on with the additional items that may not be as healthy. But if you live in a house with someone who wants something with a little more substance, that's how you can keep yourself healthy, but still keep the hubs happy, giving him the food that you would like. Another option that you can use, and I'm going to use this in a little bit for one of our sauces, is you can use, I don't have my other camera on, you can use non-fat Greek yogurt, if I can get the right side, as sour cream. And we have been doing this. I started doing this years ago, and my family hasn't even noticed. And now they don't even care. So, with Greek yogurt, you're going to get some probiotics, you're going to get some protein, versus your regular sour cream, which may not have as many healthy options. So you can throw in guacamole if you're making something like fajitas. You can throw in healthy things that are like sneaky, like they don't know they're healthy, but that way you can stay on your health journey. Thankfully, my husband is on board. That's awesome. And mine is too. So we eat the same thing. And sometimes he has to say like, oh, nope, I'm not eating any dessert because I might make dessert. And he's like, nope, I'm not eating dessert. Yes, as I learned over time that you have to use a smaller chicken, an Instant Pot, but also enjoy roast. I do enjoy roasting a chicken in the oven because you get that crispy skin. And that's one, so you can make a whole chicken. You can make check out the time. Okay, good. You can make a whole chicken. You can eat parts of the chicken, then use like maybe the breast or whatever pieces you don't use. You can make chicken with pasta. You can make a chicken salad. If you don't want to use mayonnaise, a healthier option for chicken salad is use avocado. I do that with my tuna salad. Instead of using mayonnaise, I use avocado for my tuna salad. It's just like mayonnaise. It gives you the richness of it without the additional calories, and there's nutritional value to that. Let's see if there's any other questions, comments. Oh, new gadget. How long have you? Leave the veggies in the oven. How long and what temperature? So the temperature I have these on is 375. Let me see. I'm gonna check these real quick. Woo. Okay. Usually the veggies I will cook for about 25 minutes. I always kind of check them because you want your vegetables to stay crisp. The thing about putting the veggies and the potatoes on the same pan is that the potatoes, sometimes I like my potatoes really crispy. So sometimes I'll take my veggies out of the oven, put those to the side, and I'll put my potatoes back in. And I'll put a little bit more olive oil because I like mine crispy. So with the chicken, let's see how much longer. Oh yeah, the chicken is pretty much done. So we put that in 15 minutes ago. I'm going to take this chicken out. Ooh. Yeah, this is pretty much done. Okay, I'm going to switch my camera over here. Okay, so our chicken breasts are done. So we have our seasoned smoked paprika, garlic over here. And then over here we have our Greek chicken. And I'm going to show you how the vegetables are still cooking. So yeah, I'm going to give the vegetables a little bit longer. I'm going to start to show you some of the ways we're going to put our Greek chicken together. So I'm going to make a Greek salad, and I'm going to make a sauce to go on our Greek, you can call them gyros or, but our Greek chicken fajitas. So I have this flatbread. This is an Indian style flatbread, but you can use any type of flatbread. You can use tortillas. This one here is very high in calories. It has 340 calories. So we will probably use a half of one of these. You can also just use a plain tortilla, which most tortillas are about 130 to 150 calories. So that is up to you. I happen to have these in this flatbread, so I wanted to use this. This is a garlic flavored flatbread from Trader Joe's. So I'm going to use that. And then I have in this bowl, actually, I have cucumbers and tomatoes. And it's always nice to make a salad in a bowl that you're going to store it in, because in that way you don't have to switch it over and you save on dirty dishes. So I'm just going to add the tomatoes and the cucumbers there. I have a little bit of red onion here. I'm going to throw that in there. And then we're just going to add some seasoning to this. Hold on just a second. I'm going to get my... So we're going to have some, I think we're going to add some oregano, some garlic, a little olive oil. So we're just going to... I actually do have a recipe for this. So if you're really interested in this, I kind of am doing this off the cuff. You can also use fresh garlic in here if you really want that garlic stronger. I'm going to throw some oregano, and you can also, I can just take this Greek seasoning also that I used, and I think I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. There we go. I'm going to toss that all together. Let me get my chat box out. So you're going to toss that together. This probably will be so much better if you leave it overnight and let all the flavors marinate in. I'm going to taste it real quick. You can also let it add a little Himalayan salt to that. Give it a little bit more flavor. And I use a Himalayan salt because it's healthier than your traditional salt. So that nice little salad. Just tomatoes, cucumbers. Oh, you know what I forgot? You can throw in the little parsley. Now, I'm not measuring anything, but you can surely measure all of this. I like to cook by flavor. So that's going to be our salad we're going to have. And then we're going to make a little sauce to go with that. So I'm going to grab we're going to be using some Greek yogurt. And this one right here is from Aldi. This is not an Aldi ad, but I just love that store. And then I also have, this is cucumber that I've grated. So we're going to mix the cucumber, the yogurt, and a little lemon. So this is just the grated cucumber. And you can really do a lot more of this. I just did a little bit because I didn't have a lot of time. I'm going to do a little bit of lemon. This is from the Dollar Tree, this juicer, Dollar Tree. And it works wonderful. Do not sleep on your Dollar Tree. They have some really good cooking utensils. And then we're going to add this Greek yogurt. Let's see how much we're going to add of this. I'm just doing this by ear. I'm going to grab the recipe so you guys can know the actual way to do this, because I'm kind of doing this off the cuff. But I've made it a lot of times, so I know kind of what it tastes, what it looks like. Okay, yeah, there we go. So let me grab a spoon. So I'm going to add probably about a half a cup. Squeeze some more lemon in there. So I have the cucumber, I have the Greek yogurt, and I have the lemon in there. And then now we're going to season this up. So we're going to add more garlic. You can do garlic cloves. You can buy pre-cut garlic cloves if you don't want to cut your garlic. And then we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. Just about a teaspoon, maybe less than that. So we have a Greek yogurt sauce. It's hard to see with the camera that we're going to add. So let me pull these back so you can see what we got here. Oh, my husband's probably like, can I come eat dinner yet? Remove all my Post-it notes out the way here. All right, so we have our salad. We have our Greek yogurt dressing. Move all these things out the way. I'm going to clean up as you go. That's another really great hint. Clean up as you go. So I'm going to steal a little piece of chicken over here. Also, while you're cooking, if you're using proteins, any type of meat, make sure you wash your hands in between touching anything. So even if you put your raw meat on the pan, don't use the same utensil that you use to put the raw meat on the pan to take it off. Use a different utensil. And then always wash your hands in between, and always wash every surface and disinfect it in between. So this is probably about 2 ounces, maybe 3 ounces of protein. So we're just going to chop it up. And the thing I like about the tenderloin is you can see this is like really tender. And it's a chicken breast, but it's really easy to cut. And this is like a super dull knife. I'm going to take one of our, and what I usually do with these, we're going to do half because I don't want all those calories. So what I usually do with these is I usually put them either in the toaster or I might stick it in the oven real quick because it'll soften it up and it'll make it a little easier to bend. I'm just going to throw this in here. And while I'm in here, I'm going to check on the vegetables. So I'm going to use a Tabitha, what's her, she said, hold your mule, hold your mule. So our vegetables are still crisp. And when they come out, this is when you add your salt. So I'm going to put these over here. The best time to add salt to your food is when it comes out the oven, because that's when it'll put all the flavors together. Sometimes if you add it before you cook, it will cook out. I just bought that at Dollar Tree. Did you? It's great. It's great. So I'm just going to kind of season these up a little bit. I will salt to my veggies. And with the veggies, like I said, you can use any seasoning. So my vegetables are done. I cooked those at 375, and you guys have been here as long as I've been here. And I just threw my flatbread into the oven to soften it up. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this all together. So this is like, you can make this salad ahead of time and the sauce ahead of time. And you see how quick I threw that sauce and salad together. I mean, I had chopped up everything ahead of time, but 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So I just put this in the oven. So we're going to take our chicken. All right, didn't get all my chicken. We're going to use my hands because, you know, this is me cooking if I was a restaurant. And you can either eat your salad on the side. All right. Or you can put it on here. And then
I just have to unmute and say that repurposing protein was a game changer for me. I wish as a young single mom that I had known how far that you can stretch protein and repurpose it and reuse it. And you know, you can make a roast, repurpose it as a soup, repurpose it as a sandwich. That was a game changer for me. So I love this that we're
and I do that still now. 1 week I had some leftover chicken. Now I'm eating, and I end up taking the chicken and I made some soup with the chicken. So I didn't waste it. And then I think that Saturday we had soup and I made some, you know, I had some either rolls or I made some cornbread. So here is our Greek chicken. I want to eat it. I don't want to be rude. I want to eat it so bad. I'm going to eat it. Shoot, you guys just going to have to watch me. Oh, so good. Super simple. All right, remove this aside. And now I'm going to plate up our veggies and potatoes. That's my dinner. I'm going to have to come back to that. So that's one meal already done for the week. Meal number 2. So we got our veggies all here. I'm gonna grab, oops, I didn't grab the plate. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna do, these are pretty small. Now this I'm not gonna eat. So you can add, since I did not add salt to this, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to the chicken. And then we're gonna plate up a plate that would be a wonderful My Plate. You have all your colors in there. You have your green, your yellow, you have your cauliflower in there. You can use pretty much any vegetable. Just throw some Brussels sprouts in there. And then, oh, those potatoes came out pretty good. And then you have some potatoes in there. And there is your perfect healthy plate. If you want to put some barbecue sauce on that chicken, you can add some barbecue sauce. You can add, you know, if you want to add a sauce of your choice, that's fine. If you want to eat it plain, but you have a healthy plate. And we did this in what, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 meals ready for the week. Super easy, really healthy, money saving. So all in all, between, I should have given you guys a breakdown of the cost of everything. But the chicken was oops, let me close that cabinet. The chicken was $8. Hold on, I'm gonna grab these out of here. I should grab my grocery receipt. Because I think the vegetables, I'm gonna even let's see if my receipt is in here. I want you guys to know exactly what we spent. So the chicken was $8. The cucumbers were 65 cents each. Let's see. The Brussels sprouts were, I think they were our most expensive. Potatoes were $2.99 for a 5-pound bag. I used 5 of them. Cauliflower was $2.19. And I didn't even use all the cauliflower. I used like half of it. So we have 8. I think it was $8.78 plus $2.19. Let's see, plus $2.99. And we had some tomatoes in there. Oops, I put way too much money on there. I should have added this all up ahead of time. Let's see, our Brussels sprouts were $1.99. And our tomatoes were $2.89, which I only used like 6 of those. And our yogurt was $3. Oh, I can't add. Plus $2.99 plus, I keep adding $299. All right, I'm gonna go back to the comments, the chat while I'm adding because, yep, Lauren and Durant. So see if there are any recommendations for subbing white potatoes with sweet potatoes. Oh yeah, absolutely. You can do the exact same thing. Instead of having white potatoes, have sweet potatoes. And I've done those in the Instant Pot too. How do you reheat the veggies when using these leftovers? Yeah. So that is one thing. So you do have to make sure that you cook them keep them crisp, because as you go through the week, if you heat them up multiple times, so what I do is just heat up what I need, and not all the veggies. And usually if I do veggies like that, I'll usually like for 3 days. 4 days is pushing it. If I do a 4-day, I might do like a stir fry. So I'll put them back in a pan and do a little stir fry with them with a little oil, and it gives them a little bit more crisp, and it changes like the meal you're having. But usually, yeah, with the veggies, keep them, make sure they stay crisp. And like 3 days is probably the length, and they'll start getting a little soggy. Although I ate some vegetables I made on Thursday today for lunch. Today's what, Tuesday? So I made those for dinner last Thursday, and I had them for lunch today, and I just finished them off, and they were actually still crispy. And it was cabbage, snow pods or snow beans, and broccoli. But I would, if you're using fresh vegetables, you're probably going to be able to keep those crisper when you cook them versus if you're using frozen, you may get a little soggier. So I would try to do fresh vegetables. Are you putting your veggies in the oven again? Or I usually nuke them. Yeah, and I also have an air fryer, so sometimes I stick them in the air fryer, but I usually nuke them and not for long. I just heat them just enough till they're warm so they don't get soggy. But yeah, the cabbage and cabbage, peppers, and broccoli, and those were still good. And I ate those since last Thursday. So yeah, so okay, I was going to figure out what we spent while we were sitting there. And I'm adding this up, but also remember that I did not use, like on the Greek yogurt, I used a half a cup of Greek yogurt. So the Greek yogurt was $3.45, 35 cents. But I only use a little bit. So then you can have that for parfaits throughout the week. So you can make parfaits for breakfast and lunch with Greek yogurt and put a little honey on it and your vegetables. Healthy meal, healthy dessert, healthy option. So both those meals together, not counting seasonings, since those will probably be in your pantry, around $20 for 2 meals, for 2 healthy, good meals. I mean, I'm about to kill this sucker as soon as I get off this meeting. But yes, healthy, good choices, and really good for you. Are you okay? So let's see. Durance, and are there any more questions, you guys? I gotta pick up all my mess. All the recipes. So the Greek chicken, I will share that with Lauren and she can send that in the email. And then the other one was really I just put a bunch of different seasonings on. You can use any seasonings. One of my new favorite, my sister actually hooked me on this, is Old Bay on your vegetables. Really, really good. The one thing, it does have some sodium in it. About a quarter of a teaspoon does have about 140 milligrams of sodium. So use it cautiously. But I love using the garlic powder, not garlic salt, and onion powder, not salt, because those are just seasoning. And then smoked paprika is one of my other favorites. And I get this one at Trader Joe's. I'm sure they sell it other places. And then trying out some of these infused olive oils. This one with rosemary. This is from Aldi. Oh my gosh, so good. It is so good. I mean,
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm writing a curriculum for a nutrition class for the Native American to try to, you've addressed diabetes, the high rate of diabetes, and trying to plan healthy meals that the Native American population has a high percentage of diabetes as well. So that's what interested me in this class. The meal planner, I haven't received that yet. I'm looking forward to that. Do I have permission to repurpose that in my training, just the pages for the healthy meal planning? What is that okay? It's your intellectual property.
You know what? I think that came from, they ordered them from Amazon. So I don't see why you couldn't repurpose these, or if not, I think as long as you're not selling them, you can repurpose them. Yeah.
No, we're not. We're a nonprofit. So,
yep. So I think as long as you're not selling them, you can repurpose them. Or you could even teach people to do this without the book, right? I mean, I was going to look in my drawer. I don't have it in there anymore. It's in my kitchen where everything is accessible now. I did this in like a regular notebook for years, where I would write what I was going to cook. And I was going to say also for the diabetic, that the Greek chicken, you can do that as a salad. You can do that as a salad. You can use the Greek dressing. You can use the Greek yogurt dressing, or you can use, a vinaigrette or a Greek vinaigrette, or just do it, whatever dressing that you have that's healthy option. Olive oil, if you have that. you can just use that. But instead of having the bread and the pita, have it as a salad, which is probably what I'll do for lunch. I'll just grab some spinach and put my chicken on that and in the cucumber salad. I'll put that all together with some Greek dressing, like, and that'll be so good. But you can modify a lot of these things without having, plus knowing the serving size, which will be really helpful for them, to know what serving size you're having if you're having carbs and you're trying to watch those for.
Right. I love the My Plate, and the Native American diet is very unhealthy, and because it's very expensive to eat healthy, right? We've talked about that in this training. It's just, it costs a lot more money. So
that's why I wanted to share some of I know like growing things is like probably one of the cheapest ways to go about it. And actually I'm looking into like next year, I'm gonna look into growing things indoors. So maybe I can be able to provide some feedback on that, like how you can grow, what you can grow indoors during the winter. I tried that this year and my things did not transition from outdoor to indoor. There were a lot of dead leaves from my outdoor vegetables and herbs that did not make it. But even like, I know you said like a lot of the area, I still want to get your information and like look into other options in your area. But I would say that if are there any like local like farmers markets and things like that in the area?
Those things have kind of died off in my area. I live in a very rural area, and they can't make it because they never started in order to make money. So they just started to keep people healthy, farmers markets and what am I thinking of? The healthy food little places. They never started to just make money, and then they didn't, and they have gone away. So it's very limited, and transportation is very much of an issue for my clients. So it's difficult for them to just, it's easy to go to the convenience store and buy stuff, but then that eats up their SNAP, that eats up their, their already limited resources, that eats that away. And there's diabetes is in the Native American culture. Diabetes isn't an if, it's a when. You will develop diabetes eventually, and it's a sad thing. And I'm trying to kind of work to create a mind, body, spirit curriculum.
That's awesome. Well, I'm sure if there's any way that the Health Gap can help, definitely will. There's a lot of comments in there. I know that Durant's in 5 minutes left. Durant's is like, Stephanie, get on it. Can you transporting crops from out and by I would love to talk about eventually like transporting crops. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. Oh, okay. Durant's and Lauren, get on here right now because I will keep talking. Durant and Lauren are going to get on and share what are the next steps for getting all your goodies and getting your certificate.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Sorry for the strobe light. Matter of fact, let me move out of here into better lighting. But it's always great to be a fly on the wall during these classes. You guys provide so much input. This truly is a trainer type of course. Sorry if you hear my son in the background as I exchange rooms. All right, here we go. So guys, on the next steps, obviously it's week 5. We have our teach back. Our teach back is coming up. So I'm going to try to share my screen real quick. As we get into week 5. So we're asking everybody to kind of share like a 5-minute video. So as we just talked about, you guys have already been doing a great job engaging, having conversations on the chat. So we're asking for 5 minutes. Choose one of your topics, whether it's reading the new and improved labels, building on a healthy plate, shopping on a budget, or as we just did today, the benefits of planning a healthy meal. So just 5 minutes of what you learned in that aspect of it. We hope to hear some strong enthusiasm in your voice, just trying to be an example, because obviously you guys got me fired up and excited. So show some of that excitement in your video as well. Use professional body language. Be ready to answer questions from the group after you have yours. So even if you just have little notes on the side, anticipate some questions. And always, it's always cool to share it out with your family members as well. And then just please use a variety of materials to support your information. Illustrations, examples, recipe cards. So it doesn't have to be a full production, right? If you just have it in your hand, you can just put up in your camera, things of that nature. So how we'll go about submitting some of these things. Once again, if you have any questions, you can always email us. You can always reach out to us as well. And we're going to do a break by breakdown. I did a video earlier, so I hope that helps explain how we'll also submit some things as well. So the first way that you can upload your submission, all our social media fans out there, who's all on social media? You can raise your hand. So for all our social media fans, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you can upload your video that way. And that's the easiest, it's the simplest way to go about it. Just make sure when you do it, you tag the health gap in there as well, right? So make sure you use this at the health gap with the hashtag health gap with HG do right. Facebook is closing the health gap, same HG do right. And once again, we'll make sure we get these instructions out to you guys. But if you're familiar with the social media and already are uploading things on social media, put your 5-minute video on there, tag the health gap, use the hashtag, and that's going to be the easiest way to get your video up there. Also on YouTube as well, and then on Google Drive. The second one is just, there's a link that we have on our website. You can simply just click on the link. Matter of fact, I will show you where this goes. Hopefully this does not throw off our presentation because, yeah, see, that's why you don't freestyle. But if you click on that link, it takes you to our website and you can simply submit it the same way as well. And once again, like we said before, if you have any questions, please email us. And then the last option, Lauren and I, if you don't feel comfortable with any of the technology at all, which is fine, Lauren and myself, we'll do a Zoom meeting like we're doing now. So pretty much we'll allow you to talk, we'll record it, and we'll have that ready for next week. But you gotta make sure that you get that scheduled with us before, over the next couple of days. So once again, emailing us at closingthegap@thehealthgap.org with some availability, and that's the third way to get them on it. So it's 7 o'clock. I try to be real quick with my times. I didn't want to take it over, guys. But lastly, just to go over one more time, submit it on social media, do a submission through our website, or lastly, set up a time with Lauren and myself, and then we will and we'll do a Zoom with you guys. If you want to see the walkthrough of how to upload it on YouTube, I can show that. I'll allow the crowd to decide that. If you guys got it, then we're good because it is 7 o'clock. If you want me to show the video, I can do that as well. But yeah, any questions before we get everything set up? Because I'm really excited. We're really excited about seeing you guys as teachbacks next week. This is going to be really, really fun. Really, really fun.